Everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Lilith, and today we are going to be talking about the Dreamers and Readers Festival, which was just cancelled. Every 2 months we're hearing about another book festival that's been cancelled, and that's exactly what has happened here. So the Dreamers and Readers Festival, yes, making sure I wasn't switching the words around. The Dreamers and Readers Festival was going to be in Texas next month. I'm not sure of the exact dates, but it was like sometime early next month. And last night on their Instagram, they suddenly announced that it was canceled. From what I was seeing over on Threads, they didn't send out any email to any of the authors about the cancellation. Everybody found out from a post on Instagram, so a lot of people already are not happy about that. The post on their Instagram reads as follows. After extensive efforts to preserve the event, Dreamers and Readers Festival has been cancelled. Transparently, our contract required a minimum number of guest rooms to be booked in connection with the event. That requirement was not met, resulting in significant attrition fees that are in addition to the event expenses and that greatly exceed ticket revenue. Under our agreement, the venue requires full payment of the outstanding balance, including those fees, before the event can take place. At this time, that requirement cannot be satisfied despite our efforts to do so. Payments already made towards the event have been retained and applied to the venue contract. We understand the disappointment and frustration this brings. Dreamers and Readers was created to celebrate fantasy books, authors, vendors, creators, and the community that surrounds them. We share in the heartbreak of this outcome. Additional details and FAQs will be provided to address common questions. So, from what I understand, the payments already made toward the event have been retained and applied to the venue contract. Sounds like they're keeping the funds to pay for the fees or whatever, from what I understand. I could totally be wrong, because that's a lot of words, and it's all fancily worded, and, so maybe I'm totally interpreting that wrong. But yeah, and when you go to their website, the Fantastique Collection, they've already taken down the page and all of the information about this event. A bunch of screenshots of comments from underneath that cancellation post, as well as a bunch of people talking on it over on Threads, because of course people are talking about it over on Threads. So one of the comments under the post from Ali Reddit is, "This is incredibly disappointing. I understand that contracts and hotel requirements can be complicated, but urging people to book rooms just last week, a few weeks before event day, is sus. That's something that should have been clear from the beginning. I moved my schedule around, made travel accommodations, reserved a hotel, and purchased books for the event, including one through Beventi, and I know I'm not the only one." I don't know what Beventi is. If anybody does, you can leave it in a comment below. But I'm assuming it's some website to make bookings. Authors and vendors are now out even more with travel and inventory costs. Definitely hoping refund details hit my inbox ASAP. And I've seen a lot of stuff of authors on Threads being like, I'm now out $2,000 because of this event, for like plane tickets and hotel bookings and table fees and inventory costs and just so much, and it's ridiculous how much money. Here's another one by Lords85. It's absolutely disappointing to see how the Readers and Dreamers Festival was handled. With 2 years to plan, there was more than enough time to budget responsibly, secure sponsors, and build a financially stable event. Learning that the festival relied heavily on hotel room blocks to fund operations shows a serious lack of preparation and risk management. Well-run events are built on transparency, proper funding, and professional execution. Unfortunately, those standards were not met here. Beyond the financial issues, the communication and overall professionalism surrounding this event fell short. That doesn't just impact attendees, it affects the entire book community by damaging trust and discouraging future participation. Many people invested time, money, and excitement into this festival. They deserved better. Organizers should be held accountable for how events are planned, funded, and managed. Our community deserves responsible leadership, not avoidable chaos. We have over on Threads, we have Atlas_Creed. To the authors and vendors affected by the cancellation of Dreamers and Readers, you may be approached about other events to replace it or be invited to events for free who will do it right. Please exercise extreme caution. Following A Million Lives, I was invited to Once Upon a Con to show how an event should be ran, as were many other AML authors, and we are still fighting for refunds and compensation for that event. Be extremely cautious in this vulnerable time, please. There's another one of somebody who asked what was going on with the festival, and there's this string of responses of first from Cherish Writes is, "Oh buddy, I just saw the post. The event host claims it's because hotel blocks weren't filled. People in the comments say it's because they only released the room blocks to attendees 2 weeks ago. That's only a month before the event. That's not how any of this works." And then Blake Whitridge also responded and said, "I clearly have no clue how booking a con works because I had no idea hotels were involved. I thought they just reaped the benefits of being in proximity to it. Guess it's harder to scalp a hotel room?" And then Cherish Writes responded again, "I guess so. It was supposedly in the contract that a certain number of the hotel rooms in the block had to be booked or they would owe more money." I believe that is all the screenshots that I have. There is an event, Chelsea Writes Books, made a post and says, "And now I'm going to take a second to promote my own event because it is free to attend April 25th in Conneaut, Conneaut, Ohio, Book Bash. We want the readers coming to spend their money on the books. The vendor fees go back into the venue, food for vendors, and advertising. We don't make any money on it. Now it is a celebration of indie authors." And it's from 1 to 7 p.m. New Leaf Event Center, 110 Gateway Ave, Connell, Ohio. So there is that, but it's nowhere near the where the original event was going to take place, again in, I believe it was Dallas, Texas. I know it was Texas. But yeah, it's just really disappointing to see this happen with festivals over and over again, and how much people keep investing in it, and it just continues to fall through. Some authors that I was seeing were getting emails about being refunded, so that's a plus, because I know a lot of these other ones that fall through disappear completely off the map and nobody has gotten any money back. They can't file for like a refund like legally or anything. From what I understand, people were talking about that they tried to do that with A Million Lives and they couldn't because so many people were out of state, and so it was hard to like build an actual case. And that's likely the same with this as well if they don't issue refunds, but it does look like refunds are supposed to be issued because this company works with like an actual event planning company, I think, and that event planning company has something in the contract of we do have to refund people. So it looks like people will be refunded for this, but there's still people that of course will be out the money for their plane tickets and for inventory costs. So while they're getting refunded for their table fees, there's still a lot of money that these authors are out, and it's just really disappointing and disheartening to see it continue to keep happening. Is really all that I have to say on this today. If any more news comes out, I will be sure to keep y'all updated. But until then, take care, everyone.